Hello. Hi, good evening, everyone.
Hi.
Uh, hi.
I am.
Sorry, guys, I just got a little late in waking up. So let's get started. Okay. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the concept of the subqueries. Okay, so like yesterday we did the part of we saw a couple of things on the joints, right? Like different type of joints that we have, and we were talking about the self joint as well. So today what we will be doing is we will be starting off with the subqueries. So what are subqueries? Basically, subqueries is a query within a query. Right? That is what is called as a subquery now, a query within a query. So sometimes what happens is you might not be able to, get the answers by writing a straightforward query. So then what we do is we just have to write multiple queries in order to get our result that we are looking out for. Right. So that is something that is called a subquery. Like for example, I'll give you a very small example over here. If I say select star, I say select star from orders. Right now, this is a query that I've written. So let's just me just activate the database. Right. So now if I write this query, now this is a normal query that we write. Okay. But what I can do is I can use this query as a table also, right? Like for example, I can say select star from this. See now what happens over here is now this normal query becomes a subquery. I am saying select star from, and instead of giving a table name, what I've done is I have given another query over here, right, where I'm saying select star from orders. So basically what will happen is now that this is something like two queries that are written. One of the query is inner query, another is your outer query. Okay. So inner query is this, right? So what will when I say inner query, that means this is the inner query. So first of all, this query will be executed, right? So whatever will be the output, that output will be used as an input for the outer query, right? So that means the output that I will get of this will be used as an input for the outer query. So that is something that is called as a subquery. Now subquery is something we use when you might have to work with multiple tables, right? Sometimes we use this concept of subquery when you have to do some calculations, or maybe sometimes some different clauses have some limitations that they cannot work with aggregate functions or something like that. So in those cases, we again make use of subquery, right? Now that is how this subqueries are used. Like for example, so I'll just start with a very small example. So now see, subquery is something that that totally depends upon the logic, right? So there is no syntax or something like for this that this is what the syntax is for subquery. It's totally about the logic that we write. So like we were working with the two tables that we had. That was uh, orders and returns, right? So we had these two tables. Select star from orders and select star from returns. Now, what we had was that in orders, we have the complete orders data, right? And in the returns, we have those order IDs which were returned. So remember what we did was we had done a couple of questions using the joins that if you want to see the total, we wanted to find the orders which were not returned, or we wanted to find the orders which were returned, what was the sales that was lost due to the orders that were returned. So variety of questions we did on the joins. So many of the joins question you will be able to do with the subqueries also. Like for example, if my question is I have to fetch the information of those orders which were returned, right? I want to fetch the information of those orders which were returned. So what we did was we made a join that, okay, let me make an inner join between the two tables and let's find it. But if I say select star from orders where order ID, in select star from returns, not star, select order ID from returns, right? So now what I'm doing over here is I'm writing a subquery where I'm saying that I want to select the entire data from orders where order ID in, right? In what? In this. So I have this error query over here. What is happening over here is, first of all, this query is going to pick all the order IDs from the returns table. And now I'm saying pick up all the data from that table where order IDs are equal to order IDs, which are these. So technically I get the complete data for the orders that were returned, right? So if I execute it, I get the complete information about the orders that were returned, right? If I now want to find the select sum of sales, so totally that will work. So I can write sum of sales from orders, and this is going to work over here. So I get the total sales that was returned, or the sales that was lost because of the orders that were returned, right? Yes, class. Is it making sense? This query that we have written. Yep, everyone. Are you follow this up?
The logic here is somewhat similar to inner join. Is that correct? Or
Now this is the inner join only that we have written. So this is the inner join that we have done,
okay,
but we have got the same output, but by not getting a join, by creating a subquery over here. So there are two queries that we have written. There is an inner query, and then there is an outer query.
okay. Just retrieving all the order IDs from the returns and passing that output to the outer query.
Correct.
Okay, yeah, got it.
Like same way, if I have to write a query to fetch the data of orders that were not returned, right? So that were not returned. So again, I can use the concept of the subqueries only, right? Like what I do is I come over here and I write it. So I am saying select star from orders where order ID not in, right? So if I make it not in, so what will now happen is it is going to give me the orders, the information of those orders, those order IDs which are not in this list, right? So first this query gets executed, and then now I get the data of those orders which are not returned, right? Now I get 9,179 crores. Okay.
Amit, I have one question. How do we know that we need to use subquery here or inner join here? In what way we can
See,
differentiate the
now
two?
there are a couple of things that subqueries is like, see, it is like uh, you know like joins, right? If you know that like you are working with multiple tables, you have to use a join. Same way, the if you have to work with multiple tables or you have some clause where that there is some limitations that you have, so it's more like it's like a mathematical formula that you'll have to come up and think of that you're not able to get the answer the correct way, so you might have to use an alternate help over here. That is where we use the subquery. So it's more like the logic that, like, for example, if I give you a question over here now, find the highest sales. Okay, let me give you two questions. Find the highest sales, and then I give a question, find the second highest sales. Okay, so finding the highest sales is straightforward, right? You will simply say select max of sales from orders, and you will be able to fetch it. You get the highest sales. But if I say find the second highest sales, so how will you find this?
If we group by, then the second number, can we choose the second number?
Group by what?
Group by the sales are descending order or order by.
If we can exclude the maximum sales and then the remaining data, we can find the next maximum sales.
We want the second ISL basically. So like if I just show this that I have select right, this was the highest sale, this is second highest sale. Now I want to pull this number.
Using another query.
Sorry?
We need to use the subquery. We need to pass another query for the previous one.
How?
I'm just trying, okay? You will first select the max and you will pass this query output to the outer query, and giving some condition, you can extract the second largest one.
See, if I show you this, now if I say that this is the maximum sales, right? Which I know that this is the maximum sales. Now, if I write a query, select maximum sales from orders where sales is less than this number, right? If I say select max of sales from orders where sale is less than this number, will that give me second highest sales?
No,
Will I be able to
all
get?
the remaining sales are less than this, right?
Sorry?
All the remaining sales are also less than this number, so it may give any one below this.
No, there will be only, I'm saying the select maximum sales which is less than this. So this is the highest sale. I am saying I want to pick the sale that is, I want to pick the maximum sales where the sale should be less than the highest number. So you will definitely get the second highest sales only,
Okay.
correct?
Okay.
Right? So we are applying a where clause. See, I am saying select max of sales from orders where sales is
Okay.
less than 2268. What was 2268? There was a maximum sale. That was the maximum sale that I had. Now I'm saying I want to pick this maximum sale from orders where sale is less than this, right? So I'm saying, like, in the class there are 20 students. I am saying the heaviest student is of 100 kg, 110 kg. I am saying I want the highest student. I want the heaviest student in the class who should be less than 110 kg. So now you cannot pick that because I want that it should be less than 110 kg. So it will be the second highest person. Making sense? Not?
Okay.
Yes, but I mean, like this is for the second highest. If you want to go to like fifth highest or sixth highest, then
I'll come to that. I'll come to that.
okay.
So right now, if you see over here, when I come, if I write this second highest query over here, the second highest, I'm writing the second highest. Now this query is where I have picked up the maximum number, right? This now this query that I have written over here, this is the static query. This query is static. Why? Because tomorrow, if my data updates, first of all, I will have to find the maximum order, and then I will find the second highest sale. Getting it? If suppose tomorrow my data gets updated, I get some new orders I get some new sales data. So I want to again find the second highest sales. So I cannot use the same query again over there, right? Because suppose there was some purchase that happened of more than 22,000. So that means I will have to first find the maximum sale value. I will have to update that value over here. Then only that query will work. So do you think I can? Don't you think that I can write the query like this? Select maximum sale of select max sales from orders where sales is less than max of sales. Can I write this?
I think no.
Why?
I think in where clause we cannot use these aggregate functions. I think.
Correct. Right. So now what happened is in the where clause I cannot use the aggregate function. Now this is where again, how did I find this number? I was finding this number by writing this query. Correct. So what I will do is instead of writing this, because that's a limitation of the where clause, I can say select max of sales from orders. Right. So what I'm doing now is I have written an outer query and there is an inner query. So what happens is when you write two queries like this, first the outer query gets executed and then the inner query. Now the outer query is this. It is going to give me this number. Now this number will be used as an input for an outer query. So I'm saying select maximum sales from orders where sale is less than 2268. Now my query also becomes completely, this query also becomes this dynamic. As in tomorrow, if my data also changes, it is always going to give me the second highest sales. Right? Okay. See, now the same thing I can achieve by another technique also. If I say, now what I want to do is, if I say select star from orders, order by sales descending. Okay. So now you see over here, see, subquery is something that just, so the subqueries are just a game of logics only. So what I do is I'm saying select star from orders, order by sales descending. Okay. So now if you see over here, I get the complete data. Now I know that the second row that I have over here is something that gives me the second highest sales. Now you all try to tell me that how will you write it? I'm giving you a small logic over here. If I say select top one from I say from this I'm using as a inner query. Okay, I could have used that top one over here also, right? I could have written select top one star from here also, right? But I'm right now just not using this over here. I'm writing it over here. Select top one star from. This is my outer query. So now if I just execute it, oops, oh, okay, we can't use this outer clause in this, right? So I'll just have to select one star from orders. So right, so now I picked up the first row. So I picked up the first row, which gives me the highest sales. Now what I can do is, if I say top two stars over here, this gives me the top two rows, right? So now what I want to do is, I actually have to pick up the only first row. So how can I pick this first row over here? Right? So if you see right now, I have two rows that I have picked up. So basically what happens over here is, this is the highest sale. This is the second highest sale. Now I want to fetch only the second highest sales. So how we are going to do that? Yep. Anyone? Just try to recall something. You will be able to get the answer. Rank function, you all remember? We did one rank function.
I was thinking of the row num function.
You get so row number and rank number, they are same.
Okay.
So basically we can use any one of them.
Okay.
So in that row number, what you will do is, you will first sort the data, then you will give the row number. But in this over here, you will not have to do that any sorting and all. You can simply pick up that rank only from here, right? So rank is a better option because we want to find the second highest sales. So I can simply use the rank function over here. So if I say select star from, so in this I say that select star comma rank. So we will use rank function, rank over order by sales. Order by sales descending from orders, right? So let's call this as rank number, right? So what this is going to do is, this is going to give me the ranking of the data. If I just run this up, so I'll get a ranking over here. Now this complete output is going to act as the input for the outer table, right? So now I will say where rank num equals to 2. I can use this, right? This query I'm going to call it as A. And now I'm saying where rank num equals to 2. Now, if I come over here, if I execute it, so I get the second ISA. I want to find the third ISL, so I can just make the rank equal to 3. Right, so now whichever rank I want, I can pick that up. Right. So what I've done is I have made a table in which all the rankings are given with the help of a query. And then I'm using that as an inner query as an input for the outer table, where I'm saying select star from where this is the complete input as where rank number is equal to 4. So now I can find any number of rank that I'm looking out for. Yep, making sense, everyone?
Why can't we use the simple row num function? I'm not getting it actually.
So what does row number does?
We can get the syntax because
Sorry?
I forgot. No, I need to refer that. I actually forgot.
No. Syntax is a different thing, but what I'm trying to ask is what
No,
does
the
row number
first
does?
thing which got striked in my mind is you were asking the fifth largest, second largest. I was thinking about the row number. So I'm just trying to differentiate which is the effective way about this ranking and row number.
Exactly. So my question is, what is a row number, right? So what are
Yeah.
you referring to with row number as? See, row number is, it's a
Assigning,
simple.
yeah.
So you assign a row number,
Yes.
right? We
Each and
use a
every
row number.
record.
So we use a row number in the same exact way, the way we have the rank function over here,
Okay.
right? So what we do is, if you say select, if I just write this query over here, and instead of this, if I say row number over here,
okay.
so if you will run this, so this is going to first sort the data in the descending order, and then it is going to just give the row numbers over there,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So how is it different from rank?
Rank num. Okay.
So just a naming is required. This is, I call it as row number. So if you write this query
Okay.
and this query, so how are these two different from each other? This rank and row number.
Can you show the output of this row number and rank? Is ordering the sales by descending and assigning row numbers for each record sequentially.
And what was rank doing?
Can you show that output? I don't find any difference.
Right? There is no difference.
Yeah.
But the difference is this. The difference is this, that if there will be two sales where the number will be same, you will get the rank as 1 over there. Suppose there were two sales value, it was also 22638. This was all 22638. Now rank will give both this number as the rank 1, whereas row number would have given the first row as 1 and the second row number as 2.
Okay, got it, got it.
So row
Yeah.
numbering is simply
Okay.
so row numbering is just simply numbering it up,
Okay.
right? So if you sort the data in the ascending or the descending order, and you simply you number that is row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if
No
you
matter
use
the
row,
data repeats, right? In row
so
number.
even if the values are same, the numbering will keep on getting incremented. So there
Oh,
is a risk with the row number that you might end up getting a wrong number. But with the rank, you are sure that you are going to pick that second number only.
okay, okay. And okay, I'm getting it now. If the value repeats, it will skip the next row number and it will assign 3, the next record. Is that right?
Right. So
Okay.
there were two rank functions that we studied. One was rank and one was dense rank.
Dense rank,
So if,
yes.
yeah, so when you use rank function, it skips if you have the multiple number as same. But if
Okay.
you use dense rank, so technically the correct function would have been dense rank that we should have been using. So dense rank doesn't skip if there are two numbers that are same, so it is going to give the next as 2 only. And if there are two people who are basically multiple sales were same, it doesn't skips that. Like for example, if you will see over here, there might be some ranks that would be skipped. Like 21, there are 2 times 21 is coming, so it skips 22. But if I
Yeah.
use dense rank, it does that. It writes 21, 21, and 22 would be the next
22.
one.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, getting it. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Others, are we all sorted on this?
What we need to compulsory write that as a, like in that query.
So when you use, when we are using this inner query as a table, so we have to give that inner query as a table a name, because now this is like a table that we have created, which is being used as an input for outer query, which is a select star from. So we have to just give that table. If it is acting like a table, then you have to give that a name as a. You can give any name, A, B, C, whatever you want.
Yeah.
You can give any name. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So now if I ask you write a query, to fetch the data. Fetch the data of orders where sales is more than average sales. So please write this. Right, Lakshmi. So select stars from orders where sales is more than select average of sales from the orders, right? So again, this is how we will do it. So now, just a quick pointer over here, like I would like to tell. We have seen that, many of the questions of joins can be done with subqueries also, right? We have seen many of the questions that we did with joins can be done with subqueries as well. But always remember, subqueries are slower, right? Subqueries are slow as compared to joins. So you should always be using the joins instead of subqueries for better performance. Right? This is just one performance point that we should focus on. So this is one thing that we should take care of. Okay. Right. So okay. Now let me give you one more question over here. If I write a query, select region, comma, sum of sales from orders, group by region. Right? If I write this query over here, this is going to give me this result. That in the east region, this is the sales, south region, this is the sales, west, this is the sale, and central, this is the sale. Now, what I want to achieve over here is I want to find the output in percentage. Right? Basically, like, okay, out of the total sales, 30% sales happened over here, 20% over here, 40% over here, and 10% over here as a total 100%. So now I want you all to write the query for this. Find the sales output in percentage. So please try this out. I'll just be back in 1 second to try it. Yeah. Anyone? You know who has done this? See, if I just now try to discuss it over here. See, if I write the same query like this, I'm saying select region, comma, sum of sales from this. What I do is, if I write comma over here, I write a subquery. I say select sum of sales from orders. Right? So what will happen if I write this query? Will this query work or will this query give me an error?
It will give error, I think.
It will? No. So what will happen is this is going to work. So if you run this now, see, I am saying region and sum of sales. And over here, I have written a subquery that selects sum of sales. Now this sum of sales will give me the total always. This is the total. So if I run this now, so this gives me over here, I'm getting the grouping number, and over here, this is giving me the total everywhere. This is the total sale. So everywhere when this grouping part is happening, in the grouping part, there is a subquery that is going that selects sum of sales from orders. That means sum of sales from order, that is the total sale from that table that I have. So that number is coming everywhere over here. So rather what I'm doing over.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
In columns also we can use subqueries.
You can use the columns also.
Okay.
So the rows also, columns also. Now, if instead of passing it like this, if I just simply divide this, right? Because I have to find the division of this number divided by this will give me the percentage. This number divided by this will give me the percentage, right? So instead of passing it as a part of a column, if I do a division between them, that sum of sales divided by the total sales that I have in that orders, that will give me the output in the form of percentage. So if I just run this now, so 29% sales happened over here, 17% over here, 31% over here, and 22% over here. So if we will add up all these, I'm going to get 100 in that case. That is one. Right? So I'm saying, first of all, I'm finding the individual sum, dividing it by the total overall. That is the percent of total, something like that. I'm getting a number over here. That this is what I want to find.
A bit confused, It's because this inner query select sum of sales from orders, it will give the total sum. I'm not getting it 100%.
See, basically what happened is what I told. So when you have inner query, right? So what happens is inner query gets executed first.
Executed first, yes.
And then the outer query gets executed.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes.
Now, if you take a look at in this query, so what is the inner query right now?
Here, the total sales, select sum of sales from order. This one, yeah.
Correct? Now,
Yeah.
this is going to give me the total number. That is this.
Yes.
Now, this number will be like if I say this number comes over here. Now, what will happen over here is now this outer query is going to be executed, which is select region, comma, sum of sales divided by this from orders. Now, when this outer query gets executed, now it is going to find the sales by region, and then it is going to do the grouping, and it is going to find that what is the sales for that particular region, and that number will be divided by this, which is the total sale, right? So you will get a percentage.
Yeah. You are passing this inner query for each row. You are using this query as a column.
Right now I'm using it as a number to divide with.
Yeah, this is the output of the inner query. You are passing this as an to the outer query. That I got it. I'm just thinking you are passing this value for each region because the outer query gives sum of sales by for each region.
So we want this only. What we want is we want the output to be as this only. That what I'm wanting and what I'm trying to achieve is that I'm trying to find the output in the percent in the way of percentage. That what percentage of sales happen in east, what percent of sales happen in south, west, and central. Right. This is what I'm trying to find. So if I have to find what percent of sales I had in east, so I will have to divide the sale of east by the overall sale.
Yes. Yeah,
That is how I will get.
by total sales.
Correct. So
Yeah.
that is the same thing that I've done. So when I'm saying over here that what group by query does is group by gives me the individual sale, the sales by the group by gives me the sale by each region.
Okay, got it, got it. Inner query is static and the outer query is for each region. You're getting
Correct. Outer query for each
dividing
region.
it by the total one, which is static.
Correct. So basically,
But-
inner query is giving me the output first go only that this is the total. Grouping is not done yet. Grouping is something that we will be doing after that. After that, the outer query when that gets executed. So when I execute that over there, I'm just dividing that number by overall total.
Okay, yeah, getting it. Thank you.
Amit, if you want to get it in like absolute percentage terms, can we put it like into 100 over
You
here?
can yeah, you can put this multiplied by 100 over here. So if I write into 100, so we can do that. Sum of sales into 100 divided by this total sales. So we can do that. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
And we can also apply a round function, which I'll just tell you. We will do the rounding off as well, so that the number output comes up to 1 decimal place or 2 decimal place.
Okay.
Amit, one question, like, I don't know whether it is silly or something. See, in Excel, we have the concat function to add something, text to the values. Do we have anything like that? Because I want to see this as an exact percentage. I want to append this percentage to the column value.
So you have that. So basically what we have is we have concat function itself. Concat function. So what we do is you can give, suppose if I say select concat A comma B. So this concat function will combine this together. It will give the output as AB. So you can concat two things, A comma B. You can use plus sign also, right? If I say A plus B, it becomes AB. So we have two things, concat function, or you can simply use plus sign.
Okay.
Okay.
So what should I use here if I want? Yeah.
Over here, you just write concat that
Okay.
you want to combine this entire output, right?
Yeah.
Comma, you can give a percentage sign.
Quotes. Okay.
Like this.
Yeah,
Right?
this
So you
is
get a
what I want.
percentage.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So this is largely that you have on the subquery, right? Basically, writing a query within a query. This is more like where some of the conditions that fail, so we use subqueries over there. And apart from that, if I just say
Can you show that concat syntax?
Huh?
Can you show that concat syntax? I just want to view that for a second.
Just a second, I was trying to put a question over here. All right, so I was just trying to get some questions. No worries. So, this is what I'll do is I'll try to share some questions as a practice for the subqueries apart from this. Okay. So the next thing that we will try over here is the thing that we will start off is that is something that is the functions, right? So we have functions in SQL as well, right? Like the kind of functions that we use in Excel, right? Like the different functions that we use in Excel, left, right? We use a function like left, right, mid, and some date functions. So all the functions are available in SQL also. I like, for example, if I start with date functions. Okay, so we have a lot of date functions in SQL with us. Like, for example, if I just start with, we have the function of get date, right? We have this function of get date with us. Now, get date is basically, this is a function that gives us the current date, right? So if I say select get date, this is a function that will pick up the date and time. So that today is 3rd of June, time is 6:13, 42 seconds. So this picks up the current date and time for us. Okay. So you have this get date function to get current date and time. Okay. Then what we have is similarly, you have the functions, right? Like month, year, and all those functions. So if you say year function, right? So if I say select year of, you have any date with you, right? If you give any date, suppose get date only, I pick the current date. It is going to extract the year from this. So we have the year function over here. Year 2021. If you want to extract the month, so you can say month over here. It is going to extract month from this, right? So you can use these functions to actually play around with the dates that you have. So I would like to give you a very interesting question over here, right? So we have this, you all have this data. So let's start from orders. If I execute this query, you get the data. Now just assume, right? Just for this particular question that I want to do, just assume this order date is date of birth, right? Let's just assume that I am just picking, let's suppose I'm just picking this select order date from this orders. Let's just assume that this is the date of birth. Okay, now this is date of birth. Now if I ask you that, what you need to do is you have to find the age in terms of years, right? What is the, this is the order date, and now I give you the question as that this is something you have to find the age of this particular person. So this is the DOP, this is the date of birth of different people. So you have to find the age. So how will you do it? So you have to calculate the age as of today. Just try to figure it out. I mean, you can, if you want to Google out something, you can do that also. So I just want now you to do all you do research something. So how will you solve this? Because this is a kind of a scenario that will happen many a times, that you might not know the answer, but you have to figure that out. So you will Google it out, you will try to search it, and then you will build the solution. So can you please try to do that now?
We can subtract today's date and the date of birth that is mentioned.
Okay. And how will I subtract the date?
That I have to search.
Date
Oh,
difference function.
correct. So date diff function, right? So we have a function that is date diff. Right? So we can use the date diff function. Now, how this date diff function works? So if I say select date diff, and you have to give the interval, and you have to give the starting date and the ending date. Because see, if you have two dates, right? If I give the date as one date is 2020, 2010 0101, and the another date is 2020 12th month 31st. See, between these two dates, I can find the difference in the context of years, right? The years will be 11 years. I can find the difference in the context of months. I can find the difference in the context of days, right? So that is where this date diff function is used. So if you say date diff, you want to find the difference in terms of year, right? So you give, this is the starting date is this, comma, ending date is this. Right. So if you will find the difference, this is going to give the output as 11 because it is giving the output in the form of year. If you write month over here, okay, month, it is going to give the output in the form of months now, total number of months, that is 143. If you want to find the difference in terms of days, so you will write day over here, it will give you the output in the form of day. So that is interval. So date the function takes the interval. So this is 4382 days, right? Between these, like it's 11 years of data, right? So almost like if we make it over here 3650 and plus that number if we will add, so this is how we will be getting it out. So it's not even 11, it's almost like 12 only. So this is how we can use the date diff function. So now again, if I come back to this, now since we have discussed that function that will help us, now again can you find the age? Now try to find the age over here with the help of date diff function. Everyone, I'll need 5 minutes. Let me just, something has come up at the door. Just give me 5 minutes. I'll be back in the meantime. You just try this out. Did you get the answer right? So what we can do over here is, if I now come over here, if I say select date diff, right? So we have to find the difference in terms of years. That okay. So what will be the starting date? Starting date will be the order date, comma. My ending date will be get date from orders. So if we run this now, this is going to give me the difference in terms of years. That is the age. I can fetch the order date also. I can give you, we can pick the current date also. Right? So we are done. I hope this is making sense, right? So we have fetched the order date and I am fetching the current date and I am finding out in the form of years. Now, I would like to give you a small task over here, right? As this is like Mulera homework. Okay. So now, if you see over here, the order date is the order was placed on, so it's used distinct also, right? To get that unique records. See, what I do now over here is, if we see over here, like if I talk about this person, right? So this person, take a look at this row. This the person's order date. We are assuming that as a birth date. So he was born on 19th of June, right? In 2015. But today is 3rd of June. So his age is coming as 6. But has he turned out of 6 years? He is yet to turn of 6, right? After 15 days. Right now is 5 only. But his age is coming as 6. Right? Same way if you come on the another person, he was born in 2014 in the month of October. His age is coming as 7. But after 5 months or 4 or 5 months, he is going to be of 7, right? So his age is actually not completely correct. So his age should have been again 6, right? Not 7. If I talk about this guy, so his age is correct, right? He was born in March, and to right now we are in June, so definitely he's of 4 years. His age is coming as correct. So can you modify this query so that I should get the correct age? That if the person's month has not come yet, then his age should be 1 less. It should not be like a simple difference of the 2 years, right? So I want to now fetch the date in a correct order. So can you modify this query?
Maybe it should stop rounding off.
Round.
I
No,
think
no.
I think the result is rounding. Something like that.
No. So rounding is something that we use in the decimals, right? If you have some decimals, then we use a round function. But right now,
Yeah, I mean the closest value, like if it's like more than 6 months, it's like towards the next age. If it's like more than 6 months, like if the age is 5 years, 7 months, then maybe it's considering as 6 years because it has crossed the half.
no.
I mean,
Then
the
it
half
will
year
be
it
5
has
years.
crossed.
No. Then we are considering 5 only. 5 years, 7 months, 5 years, 8 months, 5 years,
Yeah,
9
I know,
months.
but I think. Yeah, but I think I mean, it's rounding off like that. I don't know
So see, we
what is
can
the word.
get the answer by multiple ways. There are multiple ways of doing that. Like for example, I could have found the difference in terms of day, right? So like what you are saying is that we find the difference in terms of day, right? If I find this
Yeah.
and then I divide this by 365, right? So you will get the output in the form of this. Uh, um, 65.
So like in round off, if the value is like 0.5, I mean, it's more than 0.5, so it becomes the next number. That is, it considers the next number as the value. So in the same way, I was thinking like 12 months comprises 1 year. So if it's like more than 6 months, maybe it's rounding off to like next year.
But we don't want that logic now.
Yeah.
Getting it? If suppose my age is 5, if my age is suppose 30 years, 13 years, 8 months. So someone if asks my age to me, like, okay, Amit, what is your age? So I'm going to say 30 only. I'm not going to say 31.
Yeah.
That I have crossed 8 months, right? I'm going to say I'm 38. After 4 months, I will be 31. So what I want is if that number is 30.8, 30.1, 30.9, still it should come as 30 only, not 31.
Okay.
Getting my point?
Yeah.
So that is what we want to achieve over here. So why is this not? If I'm dividing this number by 365, it should actually give me the output in the form of decimals. Why is it not? I'll just check this out. So, like as you now understood, basically now if you see this, the age is still, but the age is now coming the properly. If you see over here, right? If I divide by 365, so if you see now, this guy was born in 2015 on 13th of Jan. So he is 6 years, correct. This guy was born in the month of November 2017. So he is yet to turn off 4, but he's right now, his age is coming as 3, right? If you see now, because after 5 or 6 months, he is going to be of 4 years. So if you see now his age, that is now coming as correct. Now this is the correct age. But if I don't divide it by 365, so like if I just copy this function also and let's see both the ages. Let's see this age also. And let's see this age also. If you see now, there is a difference that you can see. 6, 5, 4, 3. So when I'm dividing it by 365, I am getting the correct number over here. Getting it?
Yes. Yes.
Right, Deepa. So we can use floor and ceiling function as well. So we have two functions, ceiling and floor. So floor rounds it down and ceiling rounds it down. So we can use those functions as well.
Yes, this is only I wanted to say. I mean, like rounding off to the top portion or the bottom one, but because I'm not from technical background, so I don't know how to
No. So see,
use
basically what
these
happened
words.
is, so we have actually what happened is there are a couple of things. So one, when we use the word round, right? So round means if I have written 10.6, if you round it, definitely this will become 11, right? So in that context, you are right, right?
11.
So you were
Yeah.
saying that if this is 11.4, right? So if you want to keep it only up to one decimal place, this becomes 11, right? So this is the rounding part that we are doing, that this rounds it. But the problem with this is this, if you apply this round function, so 10.6 will become 11, right? So this age becomes wrong. So if I apply the floor function on this, floor is a function. What that does is it always rounds a number down. Even if it's 10.6, 10.9, 10.1, it is always going to give you 10 only, right? If I say select, though we have to discuss this function, I will be doing this, not tomorrow we will be doing that. So if I say select floor of 10.6, it gives the output as 10. If it is number 10.1, then also it gives 10. Whatever the number is, if you give 10.99, then also it is going to give you 10, right? In the same way, you have a function which is ceiling. It rounds it up, like 10.199 will become 11. Even if it is 10.01, it will make it 11. Right? So these are two functions that we, and round is a function that follows the mathematical properties.
Yeah.
That if the number is more than 5, then it rounds up, otherwise it doesn't. Okay?
Yeah.
So this is where will take a pause for today, right? And then what we'll do, we will be starting off with, again, we will be doing the functions only. So we will be exploring some of the functions and we will be doing views. So that is where these are the things that we have to cover up in the SQL. So what I'll do is I'll share some assignments today also, so that you can work upon all those things. And yeah, that's it. Let's connect tomorrow.
And
Okay.
Amit, will you be covering the convert and format functions as well?
Yeah, I'll be doing that. Convert, cast. So those functions we will be doing.
And the format.
Hmm.
And like year, month, and day, do we have any separate functions for extracting time, hour, minute, second? Here?
The R function, you have the R and minute function. So if you say select R, right? So you put this up over there. Like you want to extract the hour from get date. So to extract the R part from here. Oh, R is not. So
If
actually
I
you have to
try
use
it.
it with the, you have to use it with that time R function. Right, 6. So we have this. Right now it is 6. So if you put minute over here, so we have this. Want to extract minutes, like 35 minutes, so we'll do 35. Right? So we have this. I'll tell you about this date part function and all this we will be discussing in detail.
I just want to know about the date part as well. Okay. And you will be telling how to extract the desired output and the format functions, right? Because this month and day are giving the numeric output.
Sorry?
Now this month, day, if I use, these are giving numeric output. How to extract in the form of text, you will be explaining, right?
Yes, that I'll be telling you, right?
And one more quick question is like at the end of each and every module, will you be sharing interview questions? For example, we covered Excel module. Will it be possible for you to give the consolidated interview questions?
See, the level 1, level 2, level 3 that I was saying, they were more on the lines of that only. That because basically in Excel or some SQL, generally what it happens is they take the written test. But yeah, there are some theoretical questions that are asked, so I'll share that as well. I'll share that document with you.
Okay. Yeah, that day I was asking, is there any other website or any stuff so that we can gain more practical knowledge on SQL?
SQL.
Yeah, like exercises where we can go and find in order to gain more practical knowledge, to practice more on the queries. Anything you would suggest?
So as such, you will not find a complete platform where you can find a lot of exercise, because even if you will find, it will be basic ones. So let me share a couple of links. So let me just find out the best ones and let me share it today.
Okay,
I'll share
thank you. That would be
on the WhatsApp chat only. I'll share that link.
okay. Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. That would help.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Bye all.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah,
Thank you, Amit. Bye.